Hey guys, I'm here with a candle review from HomeWorx by Harry Slatkin. I'm reviewing my strawberry ceramic fruit basket. I did a haul on this a few weeks ago and I burned through my first insert, so I'm going to review it for you. If you see my background here, look at the TV. I have candles on the TV. I thought that was kind of cool. When I do the reviews in our bedroom here, usually I just have our TV back here that's just black because it's turned off, so I figured I'd put some candles on there. So, back to the HomeWorx ceramic candles, ceramic fruit basket candles. So, this was so beautiful. I loved it, and it looked so nice in the kitchen. It goes really well in your kitchen. They look so nice. So I will read the description of this strawberry one, and as I showed in my haul, the inserts just sit in there like that. And you can take them out, put new inserts in there, or you can take the insert out and light it next to the basket, or whatever however you want to do it. Just sit this out by itself. However, on the bottom of the basket it says HomeWorx by Harry Slatkin, and it has his little signature underneath there, right there. And then on the bottom of the insert it has the description, and this one is farm stand strawberries. Is farm fresh strawberries, red raspberry, currants, lemon zest, and crystallized sugar. This scent was so good. I really loved it. It was just a really good, sweet, very sweet, sugary strawberry. I said in my haul it was very similar to Yankees sweet strawberry, and I still agree with that. But still, that's the closest I could think of to another candle that it reminded me of, and it's very similar to sweet strawberry from Yankee Candle. Very sweet, very sugary. I said in my haul that I didn't get much lemon zest. The lemon zest, it could be way down deep there in the base a little bit. It's definitely not lemony or anything at all. It could just have a little bit of that lemon zest mixed in with that strawberry, the sweet sugary strawberries. And currants, it's got maybe a little bit of currants in the base as well. And the red raspberry, even a little bit of red raspberry. The red raspberry, the currants, the lemon zest are all just kind of way down in the base, kind of maybe slightly in there with that sweet strawberry and the crystallized sugar. The main top notes, the big notes, are farm fresh strawberries and the crystallized sugar. And those other notes are just kind of way down in there. They're not super strong, but you maybe kind of get them a little bit in the background. But yes, it's just a really good sweet sugary strawberry scent. If you really love good strawberry scents, this is what it is. It's not really mixed with much of anything else. You know, even those lemon zest and all the lemon zest and the raspberries, it's just, like I said, way back in there. They don't overpower it all. The main scent is a sugary, sweet strawberry scent is the main scent. It's so good. I really loved it. So we'll talk about the burn now. As you can see, burned all the way down. There's just a little bit, just an itty bitty bit of wax left on the bottom there. I went to light it this last time and then the wicks went out. They just extinguished themselves, and there was just an itty bitty, barely a thin layer of wax left on the bottom there. So that's no big deal there. That wouldn't even be worth putting in the freezer. I don't even think it would really pop much out because the layer is so thin. But it burned perfectly. It burned as far as around the sides. It got all the wax off the side. There's hardly any residue at all on the sides. It got most of that wax all the way down. But I did have a slight bit of problem with the wicks. These wicks are really thin. I mean, thin. So there's 4 wicks. As you can see, I only have 3. I will explain that in just a second here. So the wicks are really thin. I lit them, and then they form mushroom tops on the top of the wicks after you have them lit for a few hours. And as you keep burning it and that mushroom top forms, and the wax pool melts down, so more of the wick is showing when that mushroom top is on there, and then the wax pool goes down, that mushroom top really weighs down that thin wick, and that thin wick is like not heavy and sturdy enough to hold that mushroom top on the top of that wick. So because of that, when that when that mushroom head forms on the top of the wick and then the wax goes down, that little thin wick is standing up out of the wax and that big mushroom head is on the top of it and it weighs it down. So what happens is it keeps going down and falls it down, and eventually it goes underneath the wax because that mushroom top weighs it down so much the wick just falls down into the wax. And that's what happened with mine. I came home from work, my husband Brad had it lit, and he left it there so he could show me how he wanted me to see what happened, because he knows I like to see exactly what happens with my candles because I review them. So what I had to do was I blew the other 3 wicks out. I took a pair of scissors. You could take whatever you need to get it out. I took a pair of scissors and I pulled the wick out of there, and it kept falling back down though. I would kind of pull it up, let it go, and it'd fall back down. It was so curled, it was hard to stay up. What I had to do is eventually just hold it up almost completely to the opposite direction of the way it was bending, completely over the other way, and just hold it there for about 30 seconds to a minute maybe, and finally it just kind of straightened up enough to where it would stick up out of the wax so I could light it again. So that's what happened the first wick. Then it happened again, or no, actually that wick was fine. It was another wick the second time. It was one of the other wicks. It didn't go completely under the wax, but it started bending again. So I'm like, I don't want that to happen again, because the wick was kind of curling over. So I took a pair of scissors and I went to go bend it up a little again, bend it up again so that it wouldn't happen and go all the way under the wax. So I went to go bend it up, and the wick came out of the little metal wick holder there. It came completely out. I'm like, ah, it came out of the metal. It came out of there. So I'm freaking out, like, what am I gonna do? So I took the pair of scissors and I got the little metal holder out of the wax. And I tried to put the wick back into the little metal holder so I could put it back in the candle. But what they do when they put those wicks in those little metal clamps, they put it in there and I think they clamp it so the wick stays in there. So therefore it was clamped when the wick came out. It just barely came out of there, but it was still clamped, so I couldn't get that wick back in there for anything. I could not get that wick back in that clamp for nothing. So there was no way I could really put it back in there. Nothing that I could figure out anyway. So I'm like, I guess I just have to have 3 wicks candles. So I threw that wick away and the little metal wick holder, and I just had 3 wicks for, that was probably about the halfway point of the candle or so. So the last part of the candle I only had 3 wicks, but it still burned fine. It still pulled out all the way around, even with just the 3 wicks. So I thought maybe it might not pull out very well on that side where the wick was, but it pulled out fine even with just 3 wicks. So I would suggest, if you have these candles and you see once the mushroom top gets really big, I would suggest blowing that candle out, blowing the flames out, and then trimming that mushroom top off, because if you don't, it's really going to weigh those wicks down and then they'll fall down into the wax, and you'll have to dig it up out of the wax, and then you may have the same problem I did with that wick coming out of that little metal wick holder. So other than that, it burned fine. I had no problems with it except for those wicks wanting to go, because they're so thin and they just want to bend over so easy because they're so thin, and they just get weighed down real easy with that mushroom top. But other than that, it burned fine, completely fine. It didn't take that long to pull out either, you know, even on the sides. I mean, it took a little longer for the corners to pull out, but not that bad. It did really well as far as the burn, besides that, those wicks curling like that, and then the wick coming out of the holder. So the throw on this, it was really good once it really got going. The first burn, it was so strong and cold sniff. When I got these in the mail and I opened the box, if you saw my haul, I could smell it right away, so I thought it's gonna be super strong. The first time I burned it, I'm like, it's not as strong as I thought it was gonna be. It was I could smell it, but it was a little bit lighter when I thought it was gonna be, because I thought it was gonna be like really strong. It was a little bit lighter than what I expected on the first burn, but after the second burn, it got much stronger. I would say probably like a good 7.5 to 8 probably in my open concept area. I kept it in my open concept area in my kitchen actually, because it looks so good in there. I did move it to the bedroom one time, but it just didn't really go. This just didn't really go at all in the bedroom, looks wise. But it threw just a little bit stronger in the bedroom, of course, because it's a smaller area. But it did really well in the big open concept area. Like I said, 7.5 to 8 probably. I will say though that once I reached down towards the halfway point, a little lower half, and I had to take that one wick came out, and then I had 3 wicks, it did get a little bit lighter. So I don't know if maybe it's because it wasn't getting as hot since I only had 3 wicks instead of 4. So maybe when you have the 4 wicks, it gets even hotter, so that throws that scent out because it's so much hotter with the 4 wicks burning. And with the 3 wicks, even though it was completely, the melt pool was completely melted, maybe it just wasn't getting quite as hot and it wasn't throwing that scent out there quite as much. Maybe, I'm not for sure. I will have to see on my next one if hopefully all 4 wicks stay lit. I'll see if maybe that one gets a little bit lighter towards the end. And I did hear, I think it was Kevin from NNL, I think he said his, was it his blueberry? He had one of his, he had, I think he said it was the blueberry he did a review on, I think. And he said his got lighter on the second half. So maybe, I don't know, maybe it was just because it got lighter, just because, and or maybe it didn't have anything to do with it only having 3 wicks. But I will see when I do my other insert. I have one more insert left, so hopefully I'll keep those 4 wicks in there, and then I'll see how that one does. And I probably won't do a separate review for the other insert I have, but stay tuned to my empties video, because I'll talk about this one again, and then I'll talk about the other one whenever I end up burning that other insert. So overall, I was really happy with these. Looks wise, they're beautiful. I mean, they go really, really well in the kitchen. They look so pretty in there, and when you have it lit, I kept my insert inside, and I lit it in there, and I just put the little top on the side of it there, and it just looks so pretty. Really, really pretty. The majority of it, I smelled it really good for the majority of the time. I mean, I could come right in the door, I smelled it really good, smelled it all through. In my open concept, it did really, really well. So I was really, really pleased with it for the majority of the part of it. Like I said, it got a little bit lighter at the second, a little bit more than halfway, it got a little bit lighter, but it's still, like, I would probably say maybe like a 7 or so when it got a little bit lighter, which is still really good. But when it was really at the height of it, it was probably close to like an 8 when it was the strongest. Maybe even a little over 8, maybe 8.5. So yeah, I would highly suggest getting these fruit baskets, because I was really, really pleased with the strawberry, and I really, really want to try some of the other ones. I may end up getting some of the inserts for the blueberry at least, because I really wanted to try that blueberry. So I might have to try to get that before May 15th. Like I said in my haul for the strawberry basket, May 15th is the last day you can order on QVC, because Harry doesn't ship out during the summer months. So make sure you get your orders in by May 15th, because he won't ship out again until September for the fall candles, or for any other candles you get. You can't order again until September, so you need to stock up before May 15th. So thanks for watching my review of my strawberry fruit basket, and I'll talk to you all in our next video. Bye.